I'm Ginger Johnson. I'm the founder of Happy Chemo, and I wanted to introduce you guys today to Jake Jameson and his mom Heidi, who are with us. And we wanted to talk to you about why we are raising funds for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And many of you have recently found out that I was nominated as Woman of the Year. Well, and that's great and fine, and I'm all excited about that, but the real reason I'm excited about that is because if I gain that nomination, then this awesome boy here, Jake, gets to win the title of Boy of the Year, and that is my motivation for doing this for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, not only to help them to raise money to find, improved treatments and hopefully one day a cure, but also to be able to help Jake, who is awesome. Are you awesome, Jake? Okay. Can you tell everybody about what you're dealing with right now? What's going on with you and in your mouth right now?
I have really bad sores in my mouth.
And how did you get those sores?
From your chemo?
Yeah.
From your chemo that you're doing right now, huh?
Maybe, Heidi, can you tell us a little bit? Because Jake is 9, but he's been fighting this for half of his life.
Yes, he has.
Oh, and I'm getting cried.
No, it's okay.
We're just being real with people.
He was diagnosed in 2008, in April of 2008, and we had gone in. He had a really bad fever, really high fevers, and a really bad rash all over his arms. And when I called the pediatrician, they had mentioned that maybe he had strep, because it can come in the case of a rash and a fever. And so we went into the pediatrician's office, and I had a 3-year-old and an 8-week-old baby at home. And so as soon as the doctor walked in, he took one look at the rash on his arms and called the ambulance. And he had tested positive for strep, and he thought that the strep had gotten into his bloodstream, and so he was septic. So they raced him up to primaries, and within an hour we were told that he had leukemia. And then from there on out, for the course of the next 3.5 years, he underwent chemo treatments. The first year was really, really hard. We actually ended up almost losing him. He got an intestinal infection, and he dropped down to 33 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And so he stopped walking, talking, eating, everything you can possibly imagine. It was really bad at that point. Once they were able to figure out what it was seemed like everything was kind of easy after that, if that makes any sense. It was still chemo, but for the most part it was nothing compared to what he had to deal with in that aspect. He finished treatments in June of last year, and tell him what kind of party we had.
Big,
Say it loud.
A big, no more cancer party.
We did a big circus party, huh? What was your favorite thing there?
The big, huge blow-up slide.
Yeah, we had a big blow-up slide. It was really fun. We had over 200 people come, and we had a huge party because we were so excited he was done.
Which didn't happen.
What?
What didn't happen?
Which didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Unfortunately, no. So come December, he found a lump that it was right before Christmas, and we took him into the doctor, and they said if it's not gone after Christmas, we're going to biopsy it. And after Christmas, they were nice enough to wait so that we could enjoy our holidays without having to worry or start anything. They biopsied it, and as soon as the surgeon opened him up, they knew that he had relapsed. So he was just full of cancer. It was a testicular relapse, actually. And then they went in and did a bone marrow aspirate as well, and 80% of the cells in his bone marrow were leukemic at that point. So we just started, and last week they did another bone marrow to see if he's in remission, because they want these little guys in remission within the first 5 weeks. And we found out he is still not in remission, and so he has to have a bone marrow transplant. And so they are going to probably be doing his transplant come May, is what the tentative date is, if there's no complications. So it has not been very fun. So
And you guys know with the things we do with Happy Chemo, our whole goal is to try to make make life better for cancer survivors everywhere. And so this is something that I have dedicated my life to for the next 10 weeks, is to raise funds for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, as well as for Jake here himself. And you guys can get onto happychemo.com under our Take Heart section to find his page specific to him, that you could buy a Take Heart to give that funding and those proceeds back to Jake so that they can pay for that bone marrow transplant that's coming up. But again, just so you all know, the reason that we're doing this is to help people and families like the Jamesons who have to deal with this, and it is not fun. And I know personally how not fun it is, and that's why our cute Jake here is not talking, is because he has mouth sores all over in his mouth. And if you guys are survivors or caregivers and you know what that's like, that is not fun. So we're going to let him have some time to rest, but we just want to encourage you to join with us to donate to Leukemia Lymphoma Society, as well as whenever you donate on my donation page, that becomes a vote for me. And a vote for me is a vote for this awesome guy. And so we hope that you guys will do that and join with me to build up this fund for Jake, as well as for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and work with us to make a difference for all survivors, because a lot of the drugs that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society has done the research on actually has gone across to different treatments of different cancers. And so everybody benefits when we work with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So get onto my registration or my donation page and make sure you do that for us today. Thanks.